Anthony Edwards, he not gonna be a star. He gonna be a superstar.
He like a young 84 Jordan, boy. You hear me?
You going to
told him, man, you got a chance, man. You got a chance, brother, to be Michael Jordan, brother.
Anthony Edwards is one of the NBA's brightest young stars, a rising talent who has already captured the attention of fans and analysts alike. But as good as he is, there's been a growing narrative that we need to address. Anthony Edwards is not the next Michael Jordan, and that's okay. I swear some people just see a dark-skinned dude wearing an armband that can dunk and just automatically try to force him to be the league's next MJ. I think it's setting you all up for disappointment when he turns 30 and still gonna be most likely ringless. That will be the day everyone turns on him and starts calling him a bust for simply not living up to the insane expectation of being the next GOAT of the NBA. But let's be clear, Anthony Edwards is elite. He's explosive, confident, and already proving to be a leader for the Minnesota Timberwolves. At just 23 years old, he's averaging over 26 points per game, showcasing his ability to score at all three levels. But comparing him to Michael Jordan, that's a whole different conversation. Michael Jordan isn't just a legend, he's the legend. We're talking about a 6-time champion, 5-time MVP, and 10-time scoring champion. By his third season, Jordan was already winning scoring titles and revolutionizing the game with his mid-range dominance, footwork, and killer instinct. Edwards, on the other hand, has been impressive, but his game and development trajectory are different. For example, while Edwards has improved as a playmaker and defender, he doesn't dominate the mid-range like Jordan did. His offensive style is more reliant on athleticism and three-point shooting, tools of the modern NBA, not the 90s era. Now there's a whole other conversation to be had about if Jordan would just be a regular all-star if he was playing today, since everyone is so good, but that's a convo for another day. For me, when you compare someone to Jordan and saying he's next in line, you're basically saying this guy is beyond dominant, that he's unbelievably clutch and will end up getting the job done no matter what. And I just don't see that in the Ant-Man yet. Edwards isn't even averaging close to 30 points in a season yet in today's game, when it's far easier to do so than it was back then, since they underused the three-point line in MJ's era, and defenders were basically allowed to bully you if they were strong enough. All the while, Mike at 23 was able to average a big 37 during that defense-heavy era. So, maybe instead of comparing Edwards to Jordan, let's focus on what makes him elite in his own right, and who he more closely resembles. Anthony's mix of athleticism, scoring ability, and charisma reminds me of players like Dwayne Wade or even Vince Carter. Like Wade, Edwards thrives at attacking the basket, using his strength and body control to finish through contact. Defensively, he's shown flashes of becoming a two-way star, much like Wade in his prime. And like Vince Carter, Edwards brings incredible highlight reel athleticism that draws fans to their feet. These comparisons don't diminish Edwards' greatness, they highlight how he's carving out his own path in today's NBA. When we start labeling players as the next Jordan, we set unrealistic expectations that are almost impossible to meet. For every young star compared to Jordan, how many actually lived up to it? Someone that a lot of the Zoomers don't know, Harold Miner, was nicknamed Baby Jordan and faded quickly. Kobe Bryant, arguably the closest player to Jordan, succeeded not by trying to be Jordan, but by using him as inspiration to craft his own legacy, in my opinion. Anthony Edwards doesn't need to be Michael Jordan though to be special. He's already a franchise cornerstone, an all-star, and potentially a future MVP. What makes Edwards stand out is his personality, his sense of humor, his confidence, and his love for the game. That charisma, combined with his talent, is why fans love him and why the Timberwolves believe he can lead them to success. But I also think his attitude and demeanor more resembles Charles Barkley than MJ. Jordan wasn't as animated in interviews and off the court in general. He was pretty generic and pretty much PR trained.
When this series started, the two things they said about the Bulls were they were old and they were tired, which obviously had nothing to do with what was going to happen in the future.
Well, I mean, that's true. You know, we are old, and sure, we're tired. It's been a long season, but mentally, we have a vision, we have a finish that we have to attain. It's a test of your will to succeed.
Now you go first.
All right. Your confidence, where does that come from?
Since I was a kid, I've always been confident in everything I do, and I don't think it's gonna change.
The next step for Anthony Edwards, though, is consistency. If he can continue to develop his playmaking, improve his shot selection, and learn how to beat those dang double teams while embracing being a two-way star, then there's no ceiling for what he can achieve. But let's celebrate him for who he is, a unique talent who's already making his mark in the NBA, and not the literal next GOAT of the league. So let me know in the comments, Brodies, if you think of some other Anthony Edwards comparisons and what do you think his ceiling is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.